Everyone is warmly welcomed once again to our YouTube channel. So today, we are going to look at the complete story of the movie Hi Nanna. Let's dive right into the story of the movie. Viraj is a photographer by profession. His daughter is Mahi. Mahi's mother is not living with them anymore. But no one actually knows what really happened to Viraj's wife. So after Mahi finishes school, Viraj brings her home. This house is where Viraj's father also lives. As usual, Mahi keeps asking Viraj about her mother. But Viraj never says anything about her mother. There's a big reason for that. Viraj has always kept it a secret. Even though he never told Mahi anything about her mother, he takes very good care of her. Mahi also has a medical condition. Her lungs are weak, and she has trouble breathing. An operation is required, but it poses a big risk to Mahi's life. That's why Viraj hasn't agreed to the surgery yet. Viraj knows very well that there's a chance he could lose his daughter if the operation goes wrong. Time goes by like this. Viraj cares for Mahi with immense love. One day, Mahi passes her school exam with flying colors. So she waits with her beloved dog Pluto for her dad to come home and share the news. When Viraj returns, Mahi excitedly tells him she passed her exam. Viraj is very happy to hear this. Then, as always, Mahi asks again about her mother. This time, Viraj gets angry. Viraj scolds her and storms off. The next morning, Viraj's father wakes him up urgently. The reason is, Mahi is missing. Neither Viraj nor his father knows where she went. Viraj checks her room and realizes that Pluto is also missing. So Viraj starts searching for her frantically. Meanwhile, we see Mahi, upset with her dad, walking outside with Pluto. Suddenly, Pluto runs away. A young woman in the city sees this. Her name is Pooja. Pooja catches Pluto and brings him back to Mahi. She also notices that Mahi doesn't look well. Mahi thanks Pooja and gets ready to leave. Suddenly, Mahi almost gets hit by a passing lorry. Pooja, now worried, asks Mahi for her dad's number and calls Viraj to tell him his daughter is with her. Viraj rushes over to the location Pooja gave him. Mahi begins to feel that Pooja is a good friend. Viraj thanks Pooja and tries to take Mahi and Pluto home. At that moment, Mahi tells Viraj she won't return home unless he tells her about her mother. Pooja, overhearing this, realizes Viraj is hiding something. Pooja tells Viraj that Mahi has a right to know about her mother. She says telling the truth shouldn't be such a big deal. But Viraj tries to forcibly take Mahi home. Mahi still refuses, unless he tells the truth. Viraj realizes he has no choice and begins to reveal the story of Mahi's mother. From here, we are taken into a flashback from a few years ago. Viraj had gone with his best friend to a hill station to take photos. That's when he saw a girl named Varsha for the first time. As Mahi listens to this story, she feels a little sad. She had never seen her mother, not even in a photo, so she couldn't imagine what she looked like. Pooja tells Mahi to imagine her mom looks like her, Pooja, so it'll be easier to follow the story. So Mahi begins to imagine her mother looks like Pooja. And from here on, the movie also shows Varsha using Pooja's face. The moment Viraj saw Varsha, he developed strong feelings for her. Over the next few days, he secretly took pictures of her. That was also the time he first met baby Pluto. One day, Varsha catches him taking photos secretly and gets angry. Viraj confesses he loves her. But Varsha gets even angrier. She takes Viraj's camera and storms off. Later, she calms down, returns the camera, and apologizes. She tells Viraj he seems like a good person but says she's afraid of love. Viraj asks why. Varsha explains that her parents got married for love, but they're now having many problems and preparing for divorce. Because of that, she is scared of relationships and decided never to fall in love. However, she starts spending time with Viraj as a friend. Eventually, Varsha falls in love with him. One day, she hugs him and says she loves him. This is seen by her mother, Nandini. One day, Nandini invites them both to a restaurant and starts asking questions. Nandini knows very well that Viraj isn't financially strong. So she orders a large meal and asks Viraj to pay the bill, just to humiliate him. Viraj quietly goes out, finds some money, and returns to pay the bill. He tells Nandini, "Sorry, madam, I truly love Varsha. I may not have money now, but I will succeed. Please don't worry, I'll take care of her." Later, Varsha marries Viraj, but without her mother's approval. Viraj starts his own studio and gradually becomes successful. He then tells Varsha he wants to have a child. Varsha hesitates but eventually agrees. Just as Viraj finishes the story here, we see that Mahi is stunned. But Pooja, too, is curious why Viraj hid everything. Viraj continues the story. After some time, Varsha becomes pregnant. However, complications arise during Mahi's birth. Doctors warn that the baby has weak lungs and might not survive. This devastates Viraj. Varsha, now angry with Viraj, blames him. You forced yourself into my life even though I didn't love you. You convinced me to have a child when I didn't want to. Now look what's happened. She believes everything is Viraj's fault. Varsha tells all this to her mother, Nandini. Nandini, who never liked the marriage, advises her to get a divorce. On her way out, Varsha tells Viraj they should separate. Hearing this, Mahi tells her father, "Don't tell me about my mother anymore. I don't want to know." Even though she hadn't seen her mom in all these years, Mahi had loved her deeply. But now, after hearing the truth, she feels completely let down. Viraj tries to take Mahi back, but Pooja still wants to know what happened next. Viraj says, "We had an accident. Varsha died." This shocks Pooja. Viraj returns home with Mahi and looks at a photo of Varsha. Can you imagine who Varsha really was? She was none other than Pooja. Yes, Varsha and Pooja are the same person. So from now on, we'll refer to her as Pooja for the rest of the story. Years ago, after the accident, Pooja didn't actually die. She suffered a major head injury and lost all her memories. She now lives with her mother, Nandini. After the accident, Viraj admitted her to the hospital. Nandini told Viraj, "Because of you, my daughter suffered so much. Now she has a second chance at life. If you truly love her, let her go. And raise that sick child however you like, alone." Even though it was painful, Viraj decided to raise Mahi alone. You might remember that Viraj behaved coldly when Pooja first arrived. This was why. Later, Pooja comes to see Mahi. At Viraj's house, there is a big flowering tree, planted by Pooja herself years ago. She gets a vague memory but doesn't think much of it. After school, Mahi comes home and is very happy to see Pooja. She tells Pooja her birthday is tomorrow. Pooja promises to organize a party and wait for Mahi. But Viraj doesn't want Pooja to find out she's Mahi's real mother. That could cause major problems. So Viraj takes Mahi to Goa the next day, to avoid Pooja. Pooja waits at the agreed place but eventually realizes they're not coming. She leaves, heartbroken. She meets a man named Abhi and plans to marry him soon. Her mother Nandini had chosen Abhi for her. He is a doctor. Meanwhile, in Goa, Mahi secretly uses Manu's phone and calls Pooja. She tells Pooja they are in a hotel in Goa. Pooja is happy to know Mahi's location. The next day, when Viraj returns from work, he sees Pooja has come looking for Mahi. Mahi is overjoyed to see her. Together, they celebrate her birthday. That evening, Pooja talks to Viraj. She confesses she doesn't want to marry Abhi. She says her mother is forcing her into it. But now she feels something again for Viraj. Viraj, however, rejects her. He doesn't want to cause more trouble now that everyone is doing well. Pooja is heartbroken and starts drinking heavily. Viraj, too, is overwhelmed and drinks. Both end up drunk and asleep together, which Mahi sees. Mahi still doesn't know Pooja is her real mother. The next morning, Nandini comes looking for Pooja. Hearing that she's leaving, Mahi tries to talk to her. Nandini sees this. Soon after, Viraj also arrives and takes Mahi away. Nandini realizes Mahi is actually Pooja's daughter. Some days later, Pooja gives Mahi a small phone on her birthday. Using this, Mahi secretly calls Pooja, who invites her to the wedding. The next day, Manu and Viraj realize Mahi is missing. Viraj suspects she went to Pooja's wedding. They both rush there to find her. While searching, some of Nandini's men beat up Viraj. Eventually, Manu finds Mahi. But Nandini arrives and scolds Manu. She tells Mahi, "It was Pooja who left you and your father years ago. After the accident, she forgot everything. She's now happy, so please don't disturb her life." Mahi is heartbroken. Meanwhile, Abhi, realizing what's happening, stops the men from attacking Viraj. Mahi hugs her dad. She now knows Pooja is her real mother and is deeply hurt. Viraj, Mahi, and Manu try to leave. But on the way, Mahi falls unconscious. She is rushed to the hospital. She needs immediate surgery, but no doctors are available. Viraj is devastated. Just then, Pooja's father, who everyone thought was Viraj's dad, comes to talk to her. A shocking truth is revealed: he is Pooja's real father. After the accident, and since he had issues with Nandini, he lived with Viraj and helped raise Mahi. Now, he tells Pooja everything. Pooja suddenly remembers it all. She rushes to the hospital and hugs Viraj. She tells him, "I'm not leaving you again. And don't try to leave me either." Now reunited, Pooja and Viraj have one final challenge: saving Mahi. Abhi, who is a doctor, understands the emergency and comes forward to help. Luckily, many top doctors attending the wedding also step in. Together, they successfully complete Mahi's operation. Finally, Mahi receives both her father's and mother's love. And that's how this wonderful movie ends.